Despair. Despair never changes.
With the most recent Star Trek Picard episode, Stardust City Rag, fresh in people's minds, a lot of arguing and division has erupted, specifically over the fate of Star Trek Voyager's Icheb, as well as 7 of 9. The dark and gory episode depicts the death of Icheb, as well as the fundamental changing of the character 7 of 9 from a selfless individual to ultimately a murderer. The internet has been inundated with people who are both in support of this change to the character and those who are feeling, well, betrayed.
7 of 9? Yeah, she was a part of the Borg. Wanted to go back to the collective. Continue to make new assimilations. But then she was saved, given a cat suit, turned into a sexual object, and ultimately became an evolved human. Superior human. One of the heroes of the Delta Quadrant.
The former Borg's first appearance occurred in 1997 in the Star Trek Voyager episode Scorpion, Part 2. A fan favorite, the entire arc of 7 of 9, Annika, would be her dealing with having to be a Borg since she was a child, and then having to confront those demons because of it. That she had assimilated thousands and would still be able to walk away with little consequence beyond the inner turmoil. She would learn about love, about loss, and ultimately face her need to return to the Borg and betray those who had become her family. She discovers other children Borg and raises them, teaching them what it is to become their own persons.
And then a new Star Trek series, a grim one, a dark one. Starfleet was there, but in name only. Everyone had lost hope, and the darkness had taken over. The era of Kurtzman. Oh. Poor little Annika.
When it was discovered that Jeri Ryan would be reprising her role as 7 of 9 and adding to the amazing visuals of the former Borg dual-wielding Starfleet rifles and kicking extreme amounts of ass, the hype was real. People were excited that some of the Voyager crew were returning. And then we actually saw what she did on Picard.
7 of 9. Guess you could say she didn't keep her eye on the ball.
In the 44-minute episode, viewers and fans were flooded with extreme amounts of gore, resulting in the death of Icheb, someone else she would have considered her son, at least in Picard. It's arguable if that's the case in Voyager. In this episode, she lies to Picard and the crew multiple times, ending with her murdering a woman in cold blood. This is the antithesis of 7 of 9, the antithesis of what it is to be human according to Gene Roddenberry. She is not who we saw in all of Voyager. The change is so stark as it to be two different characters. The depiction, as stated, elicited very strong emotions from everyone. The first group of people balking at the degradation of the character, the others celebrating the change of the person, stating that it is a good breakdown of a character with depression and loss. Because it's okay to murder if you're going through some real shit. The debate would be so intense that Michael Chabon, showrunner, responded and admitted that he was fundamentally changing the universe, making humans valuable and with flaw, versus the evolved humans that they were supposed to be based on what previous showrunners had done. From everything I can see and the backlash, it appears that there are two issues. First, we have the excessively gruesome gore scenes, which advocates of Picard have tried to make bad faith arguments about, giving one-off shows that were nowhere near the level we saw in Picard, as well as again trying to emphasize that the character could have made this fall given what happened in universe. The other issue is many would say they don't feel like this would happen to 7 of 9. Again, advocates of the Picard show will try to emphasize that a character would have made this fall given what happened to her. And they're right. 7 of 9 could have turned into a cold-blooded murderer with everything that had occurred. I do believe that it would have taken more, perhaps Chakotay dying and feeling betrayed by Janeway, but she could have gotten there. The problem, especially for many of those who are upset with what has happened, is that right now it's unearned. The episode did a very poor job of getting us to her becoming this brutal woman. Perhaps future episodes will give us flashbacks and more information. It's very possible that all of this will be made right, which is good, but not a form of storytelling I prefer. There will also always be a small segment that saw 7 of 9 as the hero, someone who was an icon. And now that's gone forever if you accept Picard. And unfortunately, that is sad that something has been taken away from someone's childhood. It didn't ruin the childhood, obviously, but it did hurt someone's past. And it's a shame that that would happen. And honestly, most aren't going to sympathize or agree, which it's fine, they're welcome to be wrong, but I feel we would see the same people getting very upset if in the next episode we had a time jump and made Picard a racist. Or perhaps we should have Troy cheat on her husband. Or, and this is actually very possible, they kill off both Riker and Troy. I think a lot of people don't care about 7 as much as some do, and because of that, they're okay with the character having this shift. I know I'm in that boat, but I don't know, I guess we'll have to sit back and wait.
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The weasel thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel.